Imagine for a moment that every struggle you face, every fear, every moment of self-doubt is not merely an obstacle to be conquered, but a signpost pointing you toward your truest purpose. Consider the possibility that the key to truly understanding who you are and what you are meant to do lies hidden within the parts of yourself you have long ignored, suppressed, or even denied. Today, we embark on a journey into one of the most transformative concepts in both psychology and philosophy, Carl Jung's theory of the shadow. This is not simply a discussion of abstract ideas or theoretical constructs. It is an invitation to uncover profound truths about your inner life that can reshape your destiny. Imagine that the parts of you that you have been taught to fear or to hide away actually hold the secret to your potential, your freedom, and ultimately, your purpose. Jung, a pioneer in depth psychology, believed that the shadow is the unconscious part of ourselves that we disown, a repository of traits, desires, and aspects of our personality that we label as unacceptable or shameful. Yet paradoxically, it is within this very shadow that the seeds of our greatest strengths reside, along with a blueprint for a fulfilling and authentic life. Reflect for a moment on your own experiences. How often have you steered clear of certain thoughts or behaviors simply because they make you uncomfortable? How many times have you found yourself judging another for qualities that deep down you recognize in your own nature? Jung once observed that everything which irritates us in others can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. This idea that our most vehement reactions to others may be reflections of our own inner conflicts is both liberating and unsettling. It challenges the common notion that our flaws are defects to be eradicated. Instead, these so-called imperfections are, in fact, messages from a part of our psyche that has been relegated to the shadows. What if those aspects of yourself, your hidden anger, the fear of failure that lingers in the corners of your mind, or the secret envy you feel when confronted with the success of another, were not to be purged but rather embraced as keys to unlocking a richer, more authentic existence? Jung taught that the process of integrating one's shadow into conscious awareness is essential for what he called individuation, a journey toward becoming whole. This is not a path free of difficulty. It requires an immense amount of courage, brutal honesty, and a willingness to venture into the unknown parts of your own soul. Yet the rewards of such a confrontation are immeasurable. Imagine no longer having to battle with yourself over traits you despise, but instead understanding them as integral parts of who you are, a mosaic of light and dark, of strength and vulnerability. Think of the mythological heroes who face down their inner demons, the legends who must confront the darkness within before emerging transformed. These stories, from Hercules to Luke Skywalker, mirror our own inner journey. They pose the question, are you willing to take that first, daunting step to look at the parts of yourself you have been running from, to ask what lessons they are trying to teach you? In this light, the shadow is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a wise guide that communicates through your dreams, your fears, and even your relationships. Ask yourself, have you ever experienced a recurring dream or felt an inexplicable pull toward a particular idea or person? These might be the subtle signals of your shadow reaching out to be acknowledged. The first step in working with your shadow is awareness. It begins by paying close attention to the emotions that arise in moments of intensity, those reactions that seem disproportionate to the situation at hand. These intense responses are clues, signposts pointing to the hidden aspects of your psyche. Once you begin to identify these traits, the next step is accepting your shadow. Is not about acting on every impulse or indulging every dark desire. It is about acknowledging these facets of your being without judgment, understanding that they play a crucial role in the tapestry of your life. Imagine the liberation that comes from no longer fearing your hidden flaws but seeing them as tools for growth. Consider how much more authentic and confident you might become if you were to embrace your whole self, light and darkness alike. As you allow yourself to integrate these parts, you start to experience a transformation that reaches deep into the core of your being. The process of individuation, of becoming who you truly are beyond the facade of the persona you show to the world, opens up possibilities that were once shrouded in uncertainty. Your deepest potential begins to emerge from the shadows, and with it a sense of purpose that is both personal and profoundly freeing. Think about the times when an emotional outburst took you by surprise, when you reacted so strongly to a seemingly minor event. Such moments often represent your shadow revealing itself. Jung likened this to the image of a beach ball pressed underwater. The harder you try to keep it submerged, the more forcefully it will burst back to the surface. What if, instead of struggling against these natural currents, you allowed them to rise and examined them with curiosity? In doing so, you might discover that the very energy you have been trying to stifle is, in fact, the catalyst for a greater understanding of your own life. One of the most compelling aspects of shadow work is the phenomenon of projection. When you disown aspects of yourself, you tend to see them in others. For instance, if you harbor deep-seated feelings of inadequacy, you might find yourself overly critical of those who display an air of overconfidence. This isn't just a quirk of the human psyche, it's a mirror reflecting back the parts of you that have yet to be fully embraced. Rather than directing blame outward, ask yourself what this reaction reveals about your inner landscape. Each moment of projection is an invitation to reclaim and reintegrate those neglected parts of your personality. As you journey deeper into the realm of your unconscious, you may begin to notice that the traits you once considered to be weaknesses are intimately connected to your unique gift. Perhaps a fear of failure has held you back from pursuing creative endeavors, or maybe a hidden passion you dismissed as impractical is the very thing that could illuminate your life's purpose. Jung believed that the path to true fulfillment does not lie in suppressing the darkness within, but in transforming it. By embracing the very elements that you have long deemed undesirable, you unlock a reservoir of potential that can propel you toward personal growth and self-realization. Imagine a painter who refuses to use dark colors, no matter how skillfully the lighter hues are applied. The absence of contrast leaves the painting incomplete. In the same way, your full self cannot be expressed without the inclusion of your shadow. The process of integrating these hidden aspects creates a richer, more nuanced existence, where authenticity is celebrated and inner peace becomes attainable. The journey toward embracing your shadow is as much about self-inquiry as it is about self-acceptance. It involves asking yourself tough, introspective questions about the nature of your fears, the origins of your self-judgment, and the reasons behind the dreams you have long abandoned. This introspection may lead you to unexpected discoveries about the events of your past and the experiences that have shaped you. As you peel back the layers of conditioning and societal expectations, you begin to see that your purpose is not something to be found in the external world, but something that emerges from within. The courage to face your darkness, to allow it to be seen and understood, is the very act that paves the way for genuine transformation. And in that transformation lies the promise of a life that is not only authentic, but also aligned with your deepest aspirations and true potential. As you continue to explore the depths of your inner world, consider how every aspect of your being, both the celebrated and the hidden, contributes to the tapestry of who you are. Jung's philosophy invites you to view your shadow not as a burden, but as a treasure trove of insights waiting to be discovered. The energy you have spent trying to keep your darker side hidden can be redirected into a force for creativity, self-mastery, and profound transformation. Reflect on the times when you have felt inexplicably drawn towards certain creative endeavors, when the very act of creation seemed to unlock a part of you that was otherwise stifled. This is the power of the shadow at work, a force that, when acknowledged, can propel you toward your destiny. It begins with radical self-honesty, a willingness to look at yourself without filters, to admit that yes, you sometimes feel jealousy, anger, or even self-doubt. This honest recognition of your internal landscape is akin to clearing out a cluttered room. You cannot organize and make space for what truly matters until you acknowledge the mess that lies beneath. Begin by paying attention to your emotional triggers. The next time you experience a strong reaction, whether it is anger, fear, or even uncharacteristic admiration, pause and inquire what underlying emotion is stirring within you. Consider whether this response might be connected to a part of yourself that you have long tried to ignore. For instance, if you find yourself irritated by someone who exudes confidence, it might be because their confidence mirrors a quality you have suppressed in yourself. This process of self-inquiry is not meant to induce guilt or self-blame. Rather, it is an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply. Each trigger is a doorway to a hidden part of your psyche, a chance to engage in a dialogue with your shadow. Imagine sitting across from this hidden aspect of yourself and asking, "What do you need from me? What are you trying to protect me from?" This internal conversation can be facilitated through journaling, meditation, or visualization. It creates a space where your shadow is acknowledged, where its messages can be heard without the interference of judgment or shame. The process of integrating your shadow is transformative, not only on an individual level, but also in how you relate to the world around you. When you embrace your hidden self, you begin to see that your perceived flaws are inextricably linked to your strengths. That fear of failure may, in fact, be the very source of the creativity and determination that drives you to succeed. That the passion you once dismissed as impractical holds within it the potential to fuel a life-changing pursuit. The journey of shadow work is one of gradual integration, where every moment of vulnerability becomes a stepping stone toward a more complete version of yourself. As you reclaim these aspects of your personality, you experience a profound shift in how you view your relationships. No longer are you compelled to wear masks or to hide behind a facade crafted by societal expectation. Instead, you become more authentic, more open, and more capable of forming connections that are based on genuine understanding and mutual respect. Consider how the act of embracing your shadow can have far-reaching implications for the broader tapestry of human relationships. When you recognize that every individual carries their own darkness, you develop a deep sense of empathy and compassion. This understanding transforms conflict into an opportunity for growth, as you begin to see that the tensions you experience with others may be reflections of your own unresolved issues. Rather than reacting with judgment or anger, you learn to approach these interactions with curiosity, asking yourself what hidden part of you is being reflected in the other person's behavior. This shift in perspective not only deepens your self-awareness, but also fosters healthier, more authentic connections with those around you. The creative potential unlocked by embracing your shadow is another remarkable aspect of this journey. When you stop resisting the darker aspects of your nature, you free up a tremendous amount of energy that can be channeled into creative endeavors. Many of history's greatest artists, writers, and visionaries have drawn upon their inner darkness to create works of profound beauty and meaning. The energy that was once used to hide or suppress becomes the very fuel for innovation and artistic expression. In this way, integrating your shadow is not about succumbing to negativity. It is about transforming that raw, unfiltered energy into something constructive and life-affirming. It allows you to see that your purpose in life is not dictated solely by external achievements or social accolades, but by a deep alignment with your true self, a self that is complete only when all its parts, light and dark, are recognized and honored. Ultimately, the most powerful revelation of Jungian philosophy is that the journey toward wholeness begins with acknowledging every facet of your being. Your purpose is not hidden in some distant, unattainable future. It is already present within you, waiting to be discovered through the courageous act of facing your shadow. In doing so, you not only transform yourself, but also contribute to the collective healing of humanity. When more people embrace their hidden selves rather than projecting their fears onto others, the result is a more compassionate, understanding, and connected world. The path is not easy. It demands vulnerability, persistent self-reflection, and a willingness to confront the parts of you that have long been shunned. Yet as you gradually integrate these aspects of your psyche, you unlock the door to profound inner peace, creativity, and a life imbued with purpose. In this integration lies the ultimate key to transforming not just your own existence, but the world around you.